I want?
Yeah, whatever you got.
Okay.
Just got to talk loud so I can hear it.
Okay.
Go.
Hello, everybody. This is Jim Jones. I'm president of the Delaware chapter of African-American History and Genealogy. And this is our Founders Day meeting. We're having a great time. Can you hear me? We're having a great time here today. We got a lot of folks coming in to talk about the history of their families, generally African-American people, but we have others also. We would encourage anyone to join our organization because that's how you get started in looking at genealogy, looking at the genealogy of your family, the history of your family. Everybody ought to know what it's all about. You ought to know your grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents. You ought to know where they lived, where they came from, how many kids they had, what their station in life was, and you can find all of that easily today. It doesn't take all that time of going to the library every day doing work. Today everything is online, and it's up to you to find that information. Very, very easy. And by the way, we're partnering now with the Latter-day Saints, Church of Latter-day Saints, and they have everything on computer, which means that it takes about 30 seconds to find your parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents, not 30 months. So we should do that. So plan it, get going, get in touch with us. You can send us a note if you want to. Our P.O. Box is P.O. Box 7205 at 19803, Wilmington, Delaware, 19803. So send us a note if you want to. We ask you to, as a matter of fact, and let us know what you think about becoming a member of our organization. That's what we want. We want you looking for your history, all of your history, the correct history about your family. That's what this thing is all about. Thank you very much, and smile.
I've already signed. What you doing, Daddy? See, but no, I'm open. I'm AAG to know. I don't know. I didn't have Oh, okay.
And so I started using that program.
This is our family.
So this is from Corporate County?
No.
You want to say anything?
No, I don't want to say anything. This one does. Oh, not yet. She said she'd get her later.
Later, okay.
I wanted to see how she did hers so that I
Oh, but you don't want to look at this. It's 30 years now. After she walked around, never put it in her so I can. I'm not going to walk. I will be at Alpha Baptist tomorrow. I won't be going to No, that's fixed it. Dr. Alpha is right on. Alpha has a installation last Sunday. Pastor Henson is out sharing, and my pastor, we did the installation last
Oh, I know we're building up. Like, I can see the way. Am I right? Oh, it's exceptional. It's like, and I can see how they started. I can see how they started.
On their website, they mentioned that
So step up. When you get a chance.
Pope for George Washington out of Bella Forge, Maryland, and got the DAAHGS recognized. So that was a big ceremony.
This is my great-grandfather. How are you? So, the reason that I put this together and this is my ancestral talking about recipes. They don't, we don't think about recipes, we don't think about cemetery records. A lot of times, this is part of your and they're handwriting.
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, it is, and all these things are part of it. So, yeah. Now, when you get these things about the
It doesn't exist and it's not on the Bible. I have to send this to you. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to send it to you. And there's something, so I didn't forget to try to read so much stuff. And online just doesn't just make a note as to what I'm supposed to do. Well, we talked about, our topic was about,
So what happens is if you should, because this is my second marriage, and this is my husband who I'm married to now. He died of dementia. So since I am known more about this thing, because of the projects I work on, dealing with dementia, all kinds of things, and I was married to this thing 27 years ago. So this is why it's hyphenated. Okay. This is what I complete. Stage steps I walk in, security,
Oh, that's make sense? Yes, that's what that guy right here.
You want to know all
Administrator. That's what I do now. Because I saturated it. I just kept putting it in the hair. My hair like this. And then it sharpened so big. If I have my hair is I have control.
She's like, this
How you doing?
you don't have to, right? Put it in right. Sure, start from my side. That's an act, right? That's an impression.
I said, no, that's not me, but somebody that was there.
So
Yeah, they always ask me.
because it's got that yeah, it could be you.
Oh yeah, it could be. And that's what this is all about. This is us. And the thing about it is, when you look at it closely, look around this room, we all came from Africa. And I'm saying all. When I say all, you say what now? I said we all came from Africa.
Yeah.
Look around this room,
Oh, yeah.
everybody here. Okay? I don't care if they're Irish, Italian, Jewish, whatever. Motherland was a fruit. That's where the seed was planted. And then we went north, south, east, and west, and all over the world. Just like in the garden. Right there in the garden. Everything was quiet, nothing was going on. The trees and the trees, the birds were flying. And all of a sudden the birds got excited in the trees. The trees were shaking. We looked over there on the ground, and Adam was getting up off the ground. Shaking himself. And the birds, okay, and they flew on the trees. So all right. They went on. A little longer. Trees started shaking, the birds started acting up again. I looked over there. Adam was getting up off the ground again. But this time, he was holding his side. He said, and looked over there, and there was Eve getting up off the ground. Everything was quiet. Everybody went on about their business, doing what they was doing. Enjoying life that God gave to them. And all of a sudden, shaking the trees and acting up. What's going on? Over there. I told him they was hard-headed. I told him who was hard-headed. I told God that this bird's talking to the tree. I told God that they was hard-headed. What you talking about? Well, he told them not to eat that apple. Look what they did. Boom. We went north, south, east, and west, all over the world. Thing is, he made some lighter, he made some dark, he made some in between. But that's where we come from. That's what we do. That's why I do. It's our history. We're linked. And when you look at where you came from, you look at your family, you check that DNA, And what's so good about it now, you've got the Latter-day Saints, you got the Mormons, they got good records. You check the records out, you can find some connections. South Carolina, grandmother's story, her father, his father. That's just I'm scratching the surface. That's only 5 pages. I don't have a book when I get done. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to find that I was there. Somebody in my family was there. Just like the timeline says here. Once upon a time in America.
Oh, wow, check that
There
out.
we were. That's our history. That's us. You come up, you're still going. You got some people say, just get over it. Get over what? Get over the fact that you owe me some money. You need to pay me.
Do you believe in reparations?
Yes, sir.
You
I'm
do?
talking about it.
Check the gun out. You see the gun over here?
Oh, I ain't see
Real
that.
deal.
Oh, you wanted to take a picture, didn't you?
Yeah, I want to take a picture with that.
Yeah, let me get a picture. How you doing now?
It's not enough light for kids, but you can try. Anytime you're ready.
Let me I wish you could turn that down.
Well, you want to wait and then. Okay.
Nah. Go ahead, talk to me.
Okay. My name is Florence Collins Hardy. My maiden name is Florence Louise Morris. And my family's name is Morris, and we come from Noblesville, Indiana. My presentation for today is about my family starting. And Clifford and Charity Morris hailed from Kentucky to Indiana because they were interracially married. This particular display is about the cemetery where they are buried and the home church where the family worshiped, and how the cemetery was built for blacks and African Americans in 1820. And the building was never torn down because the Historical Society in Noblesville decided that it was worth keeping, especially when it was next to the cemetery where many African Americans from the area of Noblesville and other areas were buried, including some of my family members, especially my great-grandfather and grandmother, Clifford and Charity Morris. It's amazing that you can get the microfilm and the place where they are buried. You may have to go to the place to get it, but Noblesville Historical Society saved a lot of information, so it's available, and I went out there to visit about 3 years ago and was able to obtain a lot of the information, including getting pictures of their gravestones. My other part of the table is about books and things that I collect in my home about African Americans, and I keep them for my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren so that they know about their history as well as seeing real photographs, pictures, stories about them and our history as African Americans. Also down here, I have a poster that I purchased a long time ago, and it is about blacks invented many of the ordinary things that we take, that we use every day, was invented by African Americans, but they never really got the credit until somebody did the research. And this is awesome when you know little things that we have were invented by us. Also, I brought my husband's album that was put together by his children on his 70th birthday. And this is a scrapbook album that's put together. It takes a long time, from the time he was a baby and with all his children, including when we got married. And that was 7 years ago. Thank you.
Yeah, tell me about
I don't know what I got.
Tell me about you. Tell me about. You didn't do all this for nothing, did you? If you did, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Tell me.
Harriet, who is now at the U.S. Naval Academy at the age of 20. These are a picture book of family members from all of my respective families. Yeah, these are the older family. That would be my grandmother's uncles. And the other book, let me show you. The history of the Pope family was done by my aunt. That's the first edition. This is going to ultimately be the second edition. I'm currently upgrading it. Don't know what I'm going to do and how I'm going to put it out there, but it's going one day or another. The Black family was done by Carl Black, and he gave me a copy of it. He's now deceased, but he lived in the Washington, D.C. area. And it explains my great-great-grandmother's family line. The Goldtown book is about the vicinity where my grandmother grew up, and their history going back to 1615. These are two of the sketches she did when she was 16 years old for this particular book. And these are some of the books that I've utilized to help me do my research. Black Roots by Tony Burroughs, Black Genealogy by Charles Blockson, who has a library in Philadelphia at Temple University, The Underground Railroad by William Still, and Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr.
Sounds good. Okay.
Okay?
Do your intro one more time. Tell me who you are.
My name is Irwin Pope. I currently reside in Newark, Delaware. I'm from Philadelphia. Catch me right back there on the TV. But I do this. I've been doing this since 1993. I was on the Today Show, and I've been a member of DAAHGS for 15 years now.
What is DAAHGS?
Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society. I was a member of the Baltimore chapter and one of the founding members of this Delaware chapter that we have here, which is what we're doing on our 3rd anniversary.
Who are you?
I am Robert Hardy. I am the husband of Florence Collins, one of the board members for this wonderful community. I am a big supporter of the whole concept of genealogy and where we come from and who we are. And Florence and I have been married 7 years. When we met, she was a widow and I was a widower. And we got married. And today, as of today, we have 53 children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, sons-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. And I know all their names. But we are the perfect, I think we're the perfect blend. the richness of both cultural experiences, and we work hard at learning what each other is about. Florence is a great fan of, advocate. Find out who you are. We have traced her family back to the early 1800s in Kentucky. There's ongoing research. We're working on my family, who are back in Ireland right now, doing research on me, where I came from. And it's a very rich experience. I feel privileged to be a part of this.
Wait. You got these two guys?
Hey, I got to do something.
No. Not these guys. No. Get somebody else. Yeah.
You out there.
You know Alonzo?
Not really, no.
Professional photographer. Right.
For real?
Retired Marine. Yeah.
Marine?
Yeah, retired.
Retired Marine. But they get ready to start up something
now.
now.
Background. You need
Oh, yeah?
to sometime.
I was trying to. You guys, what it? You're up. Here to,
My name is Kenyon L. Camper. I'm a member of the Genealogical Society. I am happy to be here and be involved because I love this history, and this is very important. There's so much that needs to be written so that people will know what happened. So I'm going to do my best to help contribute to making this a great organization for the community and for the world. Thank you.
you're up.
I need to speak up loud, huh?
Yeah, if you can.
Okay, I'm Lorenzo Wright. I'm not a member of this organization, but I'm considering it. This is my first meeting. I've done some work with Jim Jones, and I appreciate the work that he's done on the restoration of photography, because I'm a photographer also. And also I'm retired from the Marine Corps, and I was a combat photographer in the Marine Corps for 20 years.
Is it? I don't know how much I can get, but give me an intro who you are and explain your table.
Hi, my name is Crystal Baynard Norman, and I am the spoken word person for the African-American Genealogy Society group, and I'm proud to be a part. Okay, and my display today is kind of juxtaposed, if you will. It's a mixture of items. I have my artwork on display, as well as my CD, where I dedicated 2 of my poems to the society. I also have my hair products, because I believe that I walk in the footsteps of Madam C.J. Walker with the ability to make products that actually grow hair and help to moisturize the hair. And this is my favorite piece, front and center, Harriet Tubman. And if you'll notice in the shoulders of her jacket, she carried the slaves. She's bringing them to safety, and there she is with her shotgun and her lantern so that they can see the way. Also, I have information over here when I was in the magazine for my hair products. So I'm just glad to be a part. This is an awesome day. It's well attended. Everybody came out to check on their history, or at least find out how to go about researching and doing the work. And that's me in a nutshell. Crystal Baynard.
You scan your table real quick and you can tell me what's going on. You gotta speak up a little. I didn't bring,
Oh, okay.
I don't think I was prepared for all of this right here. I brought it with me.
Oh, okay. This basically is my great-grandfather.
Oh, no. Tell me who you, gotta tell me who you
Oh,
are.
my name's Rosalind Green.
sure?
I'm from my family. I'm researching most of my family in Virginia. And so, what? Start next. You want to talk about this? Okay. Yeah. So basically, one of the things I have is literature that I use. Black church. It mentions church that my ancestors belonged to. This is my father's family from Northumberland County, so this is a bulletin from the Historical Society that has some information on someone who owned my great-great-grandparents. Here is this particular magazine. It's from another historical society on my mother's side of the family, and it has information on a farm where my great-great-great-grandparents were born. Here, this is a great-grandfather who was pastor of a church, and in 2014 my husband and I visited the church. We took a picture with the kids there. He was very interested in the youth, so I took a picture. They took a picture with the youth of the church and also the oldest member of the church. He was also the vice president of the Nickel Savings Bank, which is the second oldest African American church in the state of Virginia, possibly even in the country. He was also like an entrepreneur. He started out as a shoe salesman, working in the shoe shop, and he learned to make shoes, and so he was making shoes and boots, and then he started branched out and started selling goods and notions. He sold furniture. He sold clothing. And then he also became president of an insurance company, and then finally became pastor of the church. So down here is a great-great-grandfather who was a Richmond City Councilman in the 1870s and 1880s. And he did a lot of work in the African American community. One of the things, he was on a member of a committee of an organization that purchased a burial ground so that they could bury their dead. He was trustee of his church. He was trustee of a lot of different social organizations. These are the areas of Virginia where my family is from. These various areas here. This is just a list of some of the significant laws that Virginia had concerning African Americans. This is a 6 times great-grandmother who contributed. She was white. She contributed supplies to the American Revolution. So based on that, I could become a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And this is about her son marrying, not marrying, but having children with a free African American, free Negro. You couldn't get married in Virginia at the time, but they were bound, the family, and when you had married kids out of wedlock, the law said that the children had to be bound out to somebody who was going to be responsible for taking care of them. And so she was probably actually bound out to his mother. That's probably how they met. Her family was bound out to members of that family. That's probably how they met. And this information is actually published in the Paul Nining. I think his name is Paul Nining. He published a book on free African Americans in the states of Virginia, North Carolina, Maryland, Delaware, and South Carolina. And so that information, I found it in there. Here's some, right here is a T-shirt from a family reunion. It's a really oral history on my dad's side of the family of the family being separated during slavery and then eventually reunited. It was a long story, but he found out that they were going to be sold away from him one day, and he did an overnight trek he prayed that he could get there to see him. And it was today, if you walk from where he started to where he had to go to get there before they shipped out, it's 30 miles, but you have to cross over a bridge. He didn't have a bridge to cross over, so he had to actually walk around the head of the river. So it was actually a much longer walk, but he did manage to get there. And he spent some time with them. A couple hours, they chained him to a tree, and then they shipped out. But eventually, she probably remarried down in Mississippi. He found him in Mississippi, and but they didn't get married, and I suspect it's because she may have already been married. At any rate, later on, about 14 years later, his wife and daughter walked back from Mississippi and found that by this time he had remarried. So they weren't able to get married at that time. But he had managed to buy some property. Actually bought the property that he had been a slave on. And they, so he had, the property had 2 homes on it. Then you had, there were a lot of black men who were in that situation. So the law said that they could have 2 wives when they couldn't keep them in the same house. So he put his first wife and daughter in another home on the property. The second one was upset about it. She didn't like it. She created a lot of ruckus. So he put the second wife in a home in Baltimore because he was actually shipping goods back and forth between the northern neck of Virginia and Baltimore. And she died first, so he wound up remarrying the first wife. So we actually have the marriage certificates for both wives. And in 2007, the descendants their descendants got together. We had a family reunion, and we actually took that trek. We looked at the place where we started out. We rode by bus and we crossed over the river to the place where we ended up. That was the first time I'd ever seen one of those places. And we went back to the family church. He wound up being one of the 38 ex-slaves who founded Shiloh Baptist Church in Burgess, Virginia. So that's pretty much it. I'm in the process of writing a story for my grandkids about the family history. And a lot of pictures.
Tell me who you are and who you are. Give me an intro. Who you are, what you're about, what you're doing.
I'm Regina Berry, and I'm a volunteer.
Hold on. Go ahead, hook me up.
I'm Regina Berry, and I'm a volunteer who loves helping people do their family history. And as part of that, one day, someone asked me if there were a record of people buried at Mount Olive Cemetery. And I said, oh, I can make a list. That was 4 years ago, and I'm still making that list. And while I'm making that list, I've compiled a list of 4 other cemeteries that were dug up and moved in the city of Wilmington. Some of those people ended up at Mount Olive. I photographed all the stones at Mount Olive. I put GPS coordinates on it so you can find the stone. And now I'm going through the individual burial records for the state of Delaware to identify all the people buried at Mount Olive who don't have tombstones. So this will be a record of 5 African-American cemeteries in and around Wilmington where the records have been destroyed through time and they're going to be recreated now. This is on the web for everyone to use.
What other history do you do? What other history do you do?
I help people do their family history. I've worked on mine for years, and I just really enjoy helping other people do it. It's really sad what you want to do.
You ready? All right.
Stop!
Okay, now this is the sister.
That's my niece.
Okay. You want to come in?
But she's not feeling well today.
No? Okay.
This is my side.
Because I birthed you.
So that meeting in Bear, I'm talking to your father. That meeting in Bear, where we're going to have the modern-day, Latter-day Saints folks come in. We got a big deal.
Let her explain it to you.
Reason I asked you.
She looks like she's busy.
Anita, he want to put this on. He wants you to explain this. What do you want me to explain to you?
I want between the two of you guys, I need to know why you guys put all that work into this.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
Because
No, wait a minute. Before
you're taping this.
So before I need to know who you are.
Okay.
You got to speak up a little bit because I got a lot of background, okay?
Well,
Go.
my name is Anita Young, and this is my mother, Charlene Simmons. And the reason my display is a what is the word? compilation of family heirlooms, things that my mother had. She started out collecting obituaries, and from the obituaries, I was able to find out more about the family and family history. She also writes stories, and she had written a story about her grandmother Josephine. And so from that story, I got the idea of, maybe I need to try to find out who some of these people are. So I started using her obituaries that she had collected. I had asked different relatives to either give me information about their family or about cousins or whomever. Plus, the other way that I got started was my cousin wanted to have a family reunion to get to know some of these cousins. And so in 2005, we did our first family reunion. And so from that, we started collecting more information. And so by 2007, we were able to have the family chart because of a cousin in Texas who started collecting the information and sending it out to us. And the neat part about it lately, he's always sending something about friends somebody. And usually if he sends it, it's a relative that we don't know. So this is kind of how it started. And do you want to talk about
The only thing, the beginning,
you have to do it now.
okay, the beginning began with my great grandmother. Her name was Josephine Anderson. She was 100 years old, a little over 100 when she died. But the thing is, I got a chance to talk with her. She got a chance to hold and read her when she was a baby. And I had a chance to, she would visit us and come around. So she was a very, very interesting person. And she read the Bible, she could count that money, and she made her own soap. And she could sew beautifully. It's like machine stitches. It was so tiny when she sewed. So that's part of my great-grandmother. And my grandfather was her son. And my mother, that was her father, Reverend Anderson. And his father was Reverend Henry Anderson in Goliad, Texas.
And the church that they started, they just celebrated the 127th anniversary. They do it every year. And this year there will be another one in October. And so a lot of the information from that church was also sparked the catalyst of, hey, let's find out more about who, some of our people are. So that's how it got started.
Sounds good.
Do you have the church at one brochure of the church?
It's in one of them.
That's what we want to do. We
Yeah.
want everybody to know.
Tell me who you are and what you got there.
My name is Kathy Jones, and I'm a member of the Delaware Afro-American
You got to speak up.
genealogy group. And I take pictures of the meeting.
No. Do one more time. Tell me who you are and what this is.
My name is Kathy Jones. Everybody calls me Kitty. I'm a member of the Delaware African-American Genealogy and History Group. And what I do, I take pictures of the meetings, at the meetings, and this is just some of what I put into these frames for this celebration. Actually, the third year that we've been in.
Okay, hold on. Okay, you got it.
I can't get out there.
You can't get up there like that?
Harry Crapper. No, he's the guy who makes up that group. Okay. All guys. Man, singing gospel. Him.
You do gospel or you
So this worship tradition, it predates gospel.
Oh, okay. Hold. Let me do it like this.
I want you on tape.
All right.
What you want to take? Let me back it up a little bit.
No problem.
Go ahead and let me get you. I'm gonna get you about right here. And back up a little bit, just a little bit. There you go. Tell me who you are first, and then introduce your thing. Go ahead.
Okay. So my name is Anthony.
You gotta speak up though. I ain't got no mic on me.
Anthony Johnson, and I'm from Smyrna, Delaware. And my board is on Johnson Family Sings, and it's about the singing and praying band tradition of the Delmarva Peninsula. And the singing and praying band tradition is the worship and singing style of enslaved and free Africans. It dates back to the first Africans who were Christians, and the music itself predates gospel, blues, and jazz. It's the same music that the enslaved Africans brought over on the slave ship. When they became Christian, they sang Christian hymns in the tunes that were carried over on the slave ship. And so my connection is my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and my great-great-grandfather all participated in the singing praying band. Their home church is out of Pasadena, Maryland, Mount Zion Magathy United Methodist Church, and also Hall's United Methodist Church in Glenburg. And so that's 5 generations back that a member of our family has been a part of this worship tradition.
Okay.
Good.
So we just all get together and sing.